What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to Skull Network. My name is Nick. Welcome back to the weekly NFL picks segment on the channel. This marks week 16 of the NFL season. We have 3 weeks left, and as I say every week now, the playoff races are crazy. Last week was very good to me as I went 13-3, which brings my overall season record up to that number right there. We have no teams on bye this late in the season, so let's not waste any more time. Let's get right into the picks. Kicking things off, we have Thursday Night Football with the Tennessee Titans and the San Francisco 49ers. 49ers have been playing very impressive football lately, and honestly, the Tennessee Titans have, as I predicted last week, not been playing very well. I mean, you lost to the Steelers, and I honestly think that this bad streak for Tennessee is going to continue as San Francisco continues to make a run to the playoffs. Honestly, I don't know if this is going to be that close. Give me San Francisco. We have 2 Saturday games this week. First one is going to be Cleveland and the Green Bay Packers. Now, honestly, I really don't feel like I need to talk about this much more. As a Vikings fan, I can even admit that the New England Patriots are the best team in the NFL. And while I think the Browns can maybe hang around for a little bit, ultimately, come on, this is the Aaron Rodgers show, and we're honestly all just playing a part in it. So give me the Green Bay Packers. Up next is probably going to be one of the more entertaining games of this season, I think. It's going to be Indianapolis versus the Arizona Cardinals. Now, the Cardinals have honestly been a little disappointing the last few weeks here. Of course, they lost to Detroit last week in an absolute shocker, and Indianapolis pulled off a very impressive upset against a very good New England team. Now, do I think that Indianapolis has a chance to pull off another great upset here against another great team? Yeah, I honestly do. I don't like the direction that the Arizona Cardinals are going in right now. Do I still think they'll probably end up in the divisional round and probably the NFC Championship game at this point in the season? Yeah, I do, but honestly, I think there's a couple more losses along the road for them before the season ends, and I think Indianapolis is going to be one of them. Give me the Colts. Kicking off the Sunday slate of games, we have the Detroit Lions and the Atlanta Falcons. Now, as we know, the Detroit Lions shocked the world last week to get their second win of the season, and the Atlanta Falcons honestly just continue not to impress me much at all. But like I said, after the Lions beat the Vikings, I don't think the Lions are capable of going on a streak of multiple wins in a row. So, with that logic being said, and me sticking to my guns, I'm going to take Atlanta here. Up next is the Baltimore Ravens and the Cincinnati Bengals. This is going to be a great late in the season divisional matchup. Now, I don't currently know the status of Lamar Jackson at this point. At the time that I'm recording this, we don't know much at all. Cincinnati has just been playing relatively all right. Not nearly as great as they were back towards the beginning of the season. So, honestly, even if the Ravens are playing with their backup quarterback, I think that this could be very close. And the performance he put on last week should give Ravens fans quite a bit of hope if he does have to play. And I'm going to be 100% honest. I think whoever the Ravens play at quarterback, I think they're going to end up winning this game. They are really trying not to lose this division here because it is getting very close here towards the end of the season. I do like Cincinnati, but they honestly haven't been impressing me a lot lately, and I don't think I can go with them here. Give me the Ravens. Up next is the Los Angeles Rams and the Minnesota Vikings. Now, I will be going to this game. I did get tickets from my coworker for free, so shout out to you, Matt. Honestly, do I really need to explain myself? I'll have footage from this game after the Minnesota Vikings win. Up next is the Buffalo Bills and the New England Patriots. As we know, the Patriots had their win streak snapped by Indianapolis last week, and Buffalo, I mean, this is a game against a team with a winning record that has been playing very well, and Buffalo has been struggling against those sorts of teams all season, and honestly, I think the struggles continue. I don't know what is up with this Buffalo team, but I can't pick them against winning teams, and most people shouldn't be doing that. So, in all honesty, the Patriots are going to get back on track. Give me the New England Patriots. Up next is the Jaguars and the New York Jets. 2 of the poorer teams in the league, but honestly, I don't think anyone is as poor as the Jaguars. They are now in sole possession of the number 1 pick again, which is crazy to think, but honestly, I don't think the Jaguars have a shot against basically anyone in this league at this point in the season. Give me the New York Jets. Up next is the New York Giants and the Philadelphia Eagles. At this point, the Giants are basically a lost cause, and the Eagles are fighting very hard for a playoff spot. I don't see this being much of a contest, even though this will be a wild NFC East matchup, and these games are always close, no matter who the Giants are starting at quarterback, whether it be Mike Glennon, Jake Fromm, whoever you want it to be. Honestly, I think the Eagles have a lot more to play for. Maybe the Giants could play spoiler, but I honestly don't see it. Give me the Eagles. Up next is the Buccaneers and the Carolina Panthers. Now, I think a lot of Buccaneers fans want to forget about last week for getting blanked. Honestly, I think they're going to have a big bounce back here. It's Carolina. At this point, you don't know what you're getting with Cam Newton because he did play relatively well this past week. But, I mean, aside from that, really he's been up in the air as far as what you're going to get. Too wishy-washy for me, and I don't see an upset coming here. Give me the Tampa Bay Buccaneers to bounce back. Up next is the Los Angeles Chargers and the Houston Texans. Now, I don't want to spend a lot of time on this one. Sure, Texans, you beat the Jaguars last week. Congratulations. But honestly, I don't think they have much of a shot here against the Chargers. Regardless of who is playing for the Chargers, I'm picking them this week. Give me the Chargers. Up next is the Bears and the Seahawks. Now, honestly, I think this is one of the more difficult games to call this week, because honestly, these are two teams that are really just like mid. If you want to give them one word to describe them, it's going to be mid. And honestly, neither of these teams looked great last week, but in the end, I am going to have to pick someone. And if you are asking me to pick between Russell Wilson and Justin Fields, I think obviously Justin Fields has a lot of promise, but after that performance last week against a Vikings defense that honestly isn't super great, give me the Seahawks in this one. Up next is Kansas City and Pittsburgh. Now, I did call Pittsburgh's upset last week, and I do continue to call that Kansas City is back. But the main issue here is Travis Kelce and Tyreek Hill have a chance of not playing. Now, we don't know yet whether they will be playing, so I'm going to be watching the news here on this one very closely, and I will update my pick if needed. But if Patrick Mahomes is down those pieces, obviously those are that entire offense. You can't rely on Mecole Hardman, Byron Pringle, Josh Gordon, and Clyde Edwards-Helaire. Honestly, you just can't. I don't care if you have Patrick Mahomes, the best quarterback in the league, as your quarterback. There's just going to be not enough there. So at the moment, I'm picking an upset. Give me the Pittsburgh Steelers. But if Tyreek Hill and Travis Kelce are able to play, more than likely I will be changing my pick, so watch out for that. Up next is the Las Vegas Raiders and the Denver Broncos. Now, we don't know if Teddy Bridgewater is going to play, but regardless of if he does or if he doesn't, prayers up to him. Of course, as a Vikings fan, I want the best for Teddy. Now, as we saw, the Raiders were able to pull off a pretty big win to keep him in the playoff race with the last-second field goal by Daniel Carlson. And the Broncos, well, at least you got Javonte Williams going for you. Honestly, this is a game that I could really care less about. AFC West matchup. Two teams that obviously aren't going to be winning the division, but they do have a shot for the playoffs, so I do think this will be actually quite an entertaining game. Ultimately, though, I think with the possible absence of Teddy Bridgewater, if you got to rely on Drew Luck to get you into the playoffs here the next couple games, I don't think it's going to go over very well, and I think the Broncos end up missing out. For this week, give me the Raiders. Sunday Night Football will be the Washington football team versus the Dallas Cowboys. Now, Washington is coming out of a pretty depressing loss that knocks them out of the playoff race, at least for the time being. Now, the Cowboys, they just continue to play very solid football. Honestly, I know that Washington has played very well against Dallas, especially earlier this season, but I think Dallas gets revenge here. I think they're just playing much better football right now. I just like the team a lot more in general. There's not much more I have to say about that. Sunday Night Football, give me the Dallas Cowboys. And rounding off the week with the Miami Dolphins and the New Orleans Saints. So, of course, New Orleans played one of the weirdest games we've seen in a while, and the Dolphins are back in playoff contention after starting off 1-7. So this is obviously a crazy story. Winning 6 in a row, they're now firmly right in line to get that 7th seed. The Saints, on the other hand, are relying on a running back wide receiver to play quarterback for them. And, well, you put up 9 points last week, and honestly, I don't think the Saints have a great shot in this game. But honestly, for some odd reason, I have a lot of faith in that Saints defense now. Maybe it was just a one-off, but I think this will be the week where the Dolphins' win streak comes to an end, and call it an upset, but give me the New Orleans Saints on Monday Night Football. And that's going to wrap up this week's picks, everyone. If you thought any of them were great, or if you thought they were awful, let me know in the comments down below. We can talk about that. If you guys are new to the channel, make sure you hit the button down below to subscribe, and if you enjoyed this video, make sure you give it a like as well. If you want to share this video with anyone, you can do that with anyone on any platform, and if it's a crack dealer on the corner, that's your guys' best option. You guys already know. My name's Nick, and I will see you guys all in whatever video I end up coming out with regarding the Minnesota Vikings and the Los Angeles Rams game that I will be at this Sunday. Merry Christmas to everyone. Have a great one. I'll see you in the next video. Adios.